What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. This is the midweek update for ASBO. I do quite like these videos actually, because it's like I can get to show you all the stuff that's turning up. You know, just bits and bobs and stuff like that, and yap about plans, and if anything's changing, and figure stuff out, and all that sort of thing. It just means I haven't got to do it in the other videos, so we can crack on with stuff. I've had a little bit of a tidy. Brian's looking better. I haven't dialed the vice in. But all my kit down there is sort of, you know, not too shabby now. It does still sound like I'm walking on cornflakes because I haven't swept up, but you know, stuff is clearer than it was. Not a lot clearer, but you know, we're getting there. So we've had a few bits and pieces turning up. I'll show you in a second. And we also had a few more people chipping in as well. So up here where all the names is popping up, wait till the end, because I'm just sticking them on the end as new people come in, and you should see your name appear. So there's been a few, which is mint. Really, really cool. I don't know what the fund is up to now. It's crept up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, and every little bit helps. And one of those people is going to win the bike, because they're helping to support it. So, you know, just make sure your name's up there. Today is Wednesday. I have to look at my watch now just to find out what bloody day it is. And this week has been a nightmare. I'm having to, this is the first time I've been in the shop this week, because I've been at home, plugged into a laptop, doing my accounts. The only trouble is, I got hacked. Some bugger hacked me. So it's like, oh God, really? So I've had to download more protection stuff and stick that on and scan everything and quarantine stuff and nuke some stuff and all that other malarkey. And then, once I'm happy it's all good and safe and whatnot, then I've been able to start on doing me yearly accounts for the little business I've run out of here. It's just been a bloody nightmare. And I've still got quite a lot to do, so, you know, I'm probably not going to get back in here until the weekend, if I'm honest. But anyway, enough of that. We've had some bits and pieces turn up. So, this, I haven't undone it yet or anything. Well, I just took it out of the box. But this is the inverter for the lathe. So we've got a little thing going on with Jamie at the minute. The lathe, as you know, is getting upgraded to make-believe three-phase, so I can get the torque back, basically. And we plugged it all in, and stuff went bang. And it was basically one of these. So I've got another one. There was a couple of fellas that got in touch going, oh, I've got one of these. I've never used it. It's brand new. You know, you can have it for 100 quid off the price or whatever else. And I would have done. But I've already found this on eBay. It is a second-hand one. It's from one of those companies that, you know, like strips out old machinery and sells on all the bits that they've pulled out. Oh, hello. Was that supposed to come off? Oh, yeah, it's just a cover. That's fine. I'm just going to leave that alone for Jamie to muck about with. But that's the new inverter. So I've already dropped him a message. I don't know when he's free, but I'm hoping at some point this week he'll be able to come in and get that done, so I can get Chuck back on the case and we can see what the difference is, which I am quite looking forward to. Right, so what else have we got? I'll tell you what, let's bring you in and show you. Right, so first things first, speedo. Speedo's turned up. What's that? Well, that's the GPS thing. Right, okay. So this came from Digital Speedos, I want to say. I'm going to see if I can... I haven't got a lot of space in the description. If I can, I'll shove links in. But it's Digital Speedos. And this is basically what I've got. So this is the GPS unit. Where are you? I don't know if you can see that. V3 electronics. This is exactly the same setup that John Allen has got on his bike. More of him in a minute. But he's basically got one of these. So he's got the speedo, but you can stick one of these on. It turns it into GPS instead of having to run a lead down to, you know, one of the wheels or whatever and pick up on something ferrous that's whizzing round. So you plug one of these in, it turns it into a GPS one. His one, he's actually got this bit hidden inside the headlamp bowl. He's been sending me, we've been yapping for ages. He's turning into a good mate actually. But we've been yapping away and everything else. He sent me a load of pictures of how he's got his done. If I can find it, I'll stick it up just so you can see, but that's sort of what I've been intending to do here. So that's that bit, and then this is the speedo. There was a whole kerfuffle about, you know, revs in the thing or the whatever's in the doohickey and whatnot. See here it says needle speed, needle RPM. Anyway, this is the 141. So this is the speedo that we've got. It's all dark in here actually. It's going to hammer down in a minute. So as you can see, the needle is basically reading speed. And in that little panel down the bottom there, that's where all your revs and all the other gubbins and, you know, odometer and all that sort of stuff comes up. I'm hoping this is going to fit into that bracket. Actually, I could get that out. Let's have a look. Where is he? I made this housing. Where is it? Is he in here? Yes. Oh, come on, just come out. Come on. There we go. They're really sort of ambiguous on diameters. They just go, it's 85 mil or whatever, but they don't tell you if that's the bezel or the actual body of the thing. So I just want to have a look, because if it don't fit, I've got to remake this. Sorry, excuse me. So I'll have a go. You're just going to come out. Yes. Where's the first difference? It's, oh, that's just going to be awkward. When it goes in, see the one that that one there has got studs sticking out of it. This one ain't, and I think they're in a different place anyway. So some modification is going to be needed. I just want to see if the bugger fits. You know how it's like, you get new bits and pieces and it's like, well, just leave it in the box until you're ready to stick it on. No, you've got to have it out and you've got to play with it. Come on, go in. Right, when it goes in easily, right, some modification will be needed. I don't like how those cables are quite tight as well. Good news is he fits. And I don't think we're going to need to remake it. That's basically what it's going to look like. There needs to be, I can put some O-rings around this just to make sure it's all sealed and, you know, isolated and all that malarkey. But that is what it's going to look like. So essentially this outside bezel is pretty much the same size. It's a tiny bit smaller. Not a lot, but we can make that work. That's going to be all right. So anyway, that's the speedo. This is quite a smart little unit actually. Daytona from Digital Speedos. It's a one of them. I don't know if you can see. Well, actually on the back of it. There you go. I don't know why I'm shoving it in front of the camera. I'll just get a picture and show you. But you can have these so the needle either reads RPM or it reads speed. I've gone for speed just because, you know, reasons. And I was thinking about it, it's like, well, you could have done it the other way. I mean, the Blade had it as, and the R1 and all that actually. You know, the needle was tacho and the digital bit was the speed. It's just that the display on this is quite small. So the number is going to be very small, and in my head, it's just going to be better to have, you know, your speed as the most obvious thing. You know, it was like a half and half split. Half of you wanted it one way, half of it wanted you the other way. So in my head, I've only upset half of you. And if you don't like it and you win the bike, you can always change it. I'm pretty sure they won't accept this as a return. because I've opened it now, and it will have been installed on the bike. But you never know. So that's him. I'm glad I haven't got to remake that. I do have to move those holes. I've got to drill a couple of others in because that space in there is bigger. And I have no idea how the hell I'm going to get bolts in there. What I might end up doing is putting studs in the back of that, Loctite them in, drill some holes in here just so I can have it as that sort of setup. Because that's quite tidy and nice and neat and everything. So we're probably going to end up doing that. Anyway, let's put all this away and have a look at the other stuff that we've got. Are you good? Well, you don't need to go in, do you? You're getting replaced. Right then, so that's a speedo. It does look very tidy actually, very tidy. I'll quite happily use them again. Only next time, I might just have the needle as the revs. Right, keep all that together. Okay, what else we got in here? So in here, oh yeah, there's my stainless little button heads. So I've got a load of these. I'm just going to start collecting, you know, fixings and whatnot. Nothing special, it's just stainless steel, button head Allens. I was going to go for Torx actually, but I couldn't see any. Which brings me on to something else actually. So again, I'll get a picture and show you. But actually, I'll just bring you down and show you. Right, I totally didn't cover this when I was making the thing. And a few of you picked up on it as well, which is really, really cool. I do like all that. But anyway, it was getting on and I was hungry and I was cold and all that other sort of stuff. But I also made another little thing, look. And here's a tiny little thing. This is a stainless steel bushing, which is basically going to go in this lever. So where this mounting bolt goes through, on the original, which is here, oh no, I've still got a puddle on my bench. Oh my, sort it out. So this is the original. It's just a pin with a split pin through it and it's nasty. It's made of mild steel and everything else. So essentially I'm replacing that pin that holds the thing onto the lever with a stainless steel bolt which is the same diameter. So that's all good. The only trouble is that that's threaded. So there is a thread sort of where it passes inside this lever. And I was worried about the hard screw or bolt or anything else with like teeth on it, which is essentially the thread just eating its way into the lever. So I made this little thing. So the hole in the lever is going to get took out to 10 mil. This is 10 mil absolutely as well. So I'll probably just ream it and that should give me a press fit. So I can press this into the lever and it just gives it like a hard sleeve for the stainless steel bolt to go in. And that way the bolt isn't going to eat its way through the softer alley of the lever. I haven't done it yet, as you can see, because I need to open that hole out. But I did make one, it's just I didn't mention it in the last video for some reason, I really don't know why. The other thing is that this, those new bolts that I've got are going to bottom out in this thread and that bolt will be thread locked into there. So it's not going to come out or anything. We will wind it down. I think when I sized it all out and everything else, it's between 0.5 mil and 1 mil sort of clearance, if that makes sense. So this is going to bottom out before it actually nips up on the lever. So all this is still going to be free to rotate, but with that sleeve in there, it's not going to eat its way through the lever and it'll all be good. And essentially the bolt will then become a component part that's thread locked to my thing and it's all going to be quite rigid. Which is sweet. I do still need to chop the bottom of that off, but I need to set where the levers are going to go first. So that bit's coming. But anyway, I actually made two things. One a lot bigger than the other. Right, so that's that. Quite a few people spotted that actually, which is really, really good. Just means you're paying attention really, doesn't it? So anyway, there's that. Then, what have I got in here? Oh, these are just the lugs. So where I'm doing my battery cable, I don't know if you can see, I've just got some lugs to go onto the end of them. I've got like a crimpy tool thing which you're supposed to boss it, but I'll just stick it in the vise. So, I mean, that should be good enough. So we can make up a battery leads. So I've also got a hydraulic brake switch. Real simple thing. I quite like these. Some of you either love them or hate them. They're like Marmite. But that's basically all it is. So essentially, this is the banjo that goes in between, well, basically it holds the rear brake hose onto the caliper. And as well as obviously feeding fluid onto the caliper, it's a switch inside as well. So as the pressure increases, this thing trips, and it's, you know, it just joins those two wires together on the end of the connector. It's quite a nice little unit. I'd rather do something like this on that master cylinder than have to have like a separate brake switch on the foot pegs and all that sort of. It just, you know, I think it just neatens it up basically. So that's what we're going with there. We've got some crush washers and stuff in there as well. And then we've got this little lot. So this is the M unit wiring kit. I was chatting with Craig. Oh yeah, many congratulations, Grandad. If you've not seen his latest video, where he's pulling all the GS apart and all that sort of stuff, go and have a look-see, because he's got some blinding news. But many congratulations, dude. That is really cool. So yeah, this is basically, it's a wiring kit, and it literally is just a kit. You get these little ends which go on the ends of your wires, and that goes into the M unit itself to actually connect the thing. And then you've got a selection of different wires. There's all sorts of different colours in here. There's different diameters and ratings of wire as well. So there's, I can't, we'll have it out when we go through and start doing all the wiring. But essentially that's the start of my wiring harness. I have got, well, I think I've shown them to you before, but we'll drag them out when we get to it. But I've got some waterproof connectors and stuff as well, which are quite cool. So that's what we'll be using on the bike all over it. So, you know, we can get stuff working and whatnot. I'm still looking to do the separate loom, so there'll be a completely separate engine loom, and then the lighting and switchgear and all that other sort of stuff, that's going to be a completely separate loom. So, you know, and it'll all be marked up and colour coded. I will do a wiring diagram. A few people have been saying about that. But yeah, so it's just going to make hopefully a really neat and tidy job of it. So, you know, and it'll just make it simple as well. So at the end of the day, whoever gets it is kind of winning a project of their own, really. You're going to tinker with it. You're going to change it, or you're just going to sell it. I don't really care. But at some point, someone's going to have it, and they're going to run it on the road. And with any bike, you know, occasionally things are probably going to go wrong, or, you know, you're going to get a fault on it or something. So as simple as I can make the wiring, then that's what I want to do. I was going to send all the wiring through the frame. I've decided against that, just because I think it's better if everything is accessible. But like I say, if I've got separate looms, so just an engine one and just a lighting one, and, you know, whatever, and, you know, we can separate, you know, the front to back, or, you know, switch gear, we could have it pluggable there, or, you know, whatever. I don't really know yet. But we'll figure it all out. And that way, if you do have a problem, you're not looking at a mess of wires and like it's all routed through the frame, and, you know, bits of the loom spur off here, there and everywhere. It'll all just be a straightforward run. That's the way I would like to have seen it done on other bikes that I've worked on in the past that have been a nightmare. So I'm changing it for this one. Right, so a few more bits then. I quite like it. Just, you know, you get like a couple of bits turning up each week, and I can show them to you and explain why I've gone that route, and, you know, where we got it from and what it looks like and what it's going to do and how I'm going to use it and all that sort of thing. I quite like it like that. So anyway, I haven't really ordered anything else. I still need to get tyres and whatnot. I'm probably going to go with a set of Pirelli Diablos, or, you know, a Pirelli tyre, just because I quite like them. I've had them on the Blade and the R1 and all that other sort of stuff. And they're just a really good tyre. Personal preference. So anyway, the yokes. Right, I need to mention this actually. So I machined up these top yokes, and ever since I've done it, I've had like a steady stream of people going, "Can you make me a set, please? I'll pay you." And I said, "I would love to say yes. I would love to say yes, but I can't. I haven't got the time. Literally, I haven't. Between running my own business here and the stuff that I have to do for that, plus doing the bikes, plus making the tooling that I'm making as well, plus doing like my day job, there aren't enough hours in the day. I would love to make them because it'd be a little bit of an earner, but I can't do it. I just haven't got the time. So anyway, I think the latest person was, what was the name? It's got a K in it. Kitty Cat, that's it. Is it Kitty Cat? I'm sure it's Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat got in touch going that there's this bottle, this firm or something that wants a fork brace made for a set of chopper forks to match the top yoke. And I could do it, it looks dead easy from what I see with the pictures. But like I say, I just haven't got time. So this bit might help you out. John Allen, who's one of the patrons, he's been down here and all that sort of stuff. He asked me if I could make a set and he got the same answer. So he went out and he found a CNC company. I can't remember what the name is. I think it's Billet Bike Bits. I'm not sure, I could be wrong. There'll be a thing come across the bottom of the screen giving his details and whatnot. But John found this fella and said, can you make me something? Oh yeah, okay, that's not a problem. So he did. And they've just turned up like yesterday and he's been sending me pictures because he's all giddy like a schoolboy and they do look really, really good. I'll get some pictures and I'll shove them up so you can see. How pretty does that look, eh? I should have done these properly, shouldn't I? I like these ones. So yeah, I think he's currently building I'm sure it's a Bandit 6, not a 12, but he's building a bike for his brother. And he's basically had to shove an R6 front end into it. I think it's going to be like a Street Fighter type thing. So he's put an R6 front end in it, which the forks are shorter, so he's got to run the drop yoke, similar to this. It's just another take on it, where I've like sloped these down, his comes flat, and then, you know, this bit goes down. And the fork is inset into it with a cap over top of it. That style of top yoke wouldn't have worked on this, I don't think. It just wouldn't look right. But you know, it's all CNC machined up. They've done a gorgeous job on it. The finish on it is absolutely lovely. So that's what he did. Now there's loads of people like this that do it. I'm not advocating this fella, however, John does seem to be very happy with him. And I might get some of these next bits wrong. I might do. But anyway, the cost of getting it done was like 240 something quid, 250 quid, something like that. The risers, that was like another 45 or 46 quid or something. No, 49 quid, I'm sure he said. I'm going from memory because it's all on my phone, but you're on my phone at the minute. So yeah, it's about 250 quid for the yoke. The risers was, call it another 50 quid, 18 quid postage, and that was it. So with these CNC firms, they've got like, all this stuff is already CADed. They've already got the models. If you just want to stock one, they just, you know, put the program in, hit the go button and off you go sort of thing. I think he said it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks from deposit paid to him actually getting them. There were a few little changes that he wanted making to the standard yokes that this place do, just to accommodate for speedos or cable, you know, whatever. So they can make tweaks and changes to like their stock product and whatnot. And it turned out it was like 7 weeks from deposit paid to him actually getting the yokes, which actually isn't a great deal. I mean, like, I don't know how long these took to do. And it was my first time and I had to work everything out and blah, 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 blah. I could do it a lot quicker. But it's still going to take you like, well, it'd take me like a week to do. So, you know, 250 quid is not a week's wage. So they've got a few of these lined up and it's already CADed, it's already modelled. They just put the lump of metal in, load the program, hit the go button and it just does it. It's like commercially set up. And they can do it. They can do it and they can turn a profit because they're obviously turning a profit. Whereas me at home doing my own little thing on my own little mill will take me a hell of a lot longer and it just doesn't make it commercially viable. So if you are thinking of getting it done, these sorts of companies are well worth looking into. John is over the moon. I think his brother is going to be grinning like an idiot when he must have seen it. He must have shown it to you. He wouldn't have showed it to me first. But it, you know, really, really nice job, and like the, you know, all the bolts and fixings is in there, and they've hogged out the underside of it as well, just to line it up and give a bit of room for cabling and blah 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 blah, which I still need to do on that. But they've done a cracking job, and it's a custom bit. It's not like he's just gone out and he's bought this bling thing off eBay and he's just bolted it on. You know, it's a custom set of yokes at the end of the day for a custom bike. That's what makes it custom. So I'm not promoting his business or anything, just I'm promoting the idea. Just because you haven't got a mill and a lathe sitting in the back of your shed doesn't mean you can't do stuff like that. And it does make a difference. It's all those little things, you know, like the thing that I made down there, and you know, the top yokes and the clip-ons that I'm going to be making and all that sort of stuff. It's that sort of thing that it makes your bike different to everybody else's and therefore makes it custom, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of just, you know, buying bling bits or, you know, universal this, that and the others and just bolting them on, because somebody else could go and buy that universal whatever, bolt it on, and his bike would look just the same as yours. Don't make it custom. Custom is one-off, in my humble opinion, a one-off thing. But yeah, so I'm hoping that when John gets this bike finished and his brother is, you know, he's on it and happy as Larry and everything else, I'm hoping the two of them come down and we can have a bit of a look-see and go through it all. If this is done and the ZZR is back on the road, we're going out hooning. That would be quite a good day. But it'd be interesting to see how this bike comes out. I think it's going to be like a Street Fighter thing. I don't know all the details of what he's doing to it, but it's going to be interesting to see at the end of the day. So anyway, there's that. I'm hoping that helps people out. So I am sorry I can't help you out, kitty cat. I am. If I could, I would, but I can't. But you know, for like, I mean, John's paid like what, just a touch over 300 quid for a complete custom top yoke and whatnot, all delivered and machined to his specs and blah 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 blah. And he's not bad, not at the end of the day. So you know, obviously I could do it cheaper for myself because I've got a mill and a lathe. But if you haven't got those two things, then that really is an option. You know, and it will make the bike stand out because it's in your face, right there. It's right there. So anyway, there's that. What else we got going on? Oh, I need to get that bloody oven out of the way. It's still sat on top of the fabrication table, and I'm going to need that in a bit. So it's not going to be a long job just to weld up a frame to get it shoved out. I'm probably going to do that actually. This week is a bit sort of just because I'm doing all my accounts and getting all that stuff done. I do want to get the lathe finished off as well. So I suppose whilst Jamie's in here, I could be doing that. I could. That might be a good idea. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm definitely on ASBO at the weekend though. Definitely. Next step is going to be to chomp out that little bit extra on the frame, and then I want to get into exhaust. The Dark Lord Fuzzy Butt has posted off the end can. He doesn't live too far away, he's in Newton Abbot, but the weather has been atrocious. So he's posted it down to me. Thank you ever so much, mate. I've offered to like pay him for it and pay postage, and he's not having any of it. Apparently this thing is just sitting in the back of his shed doing nothing, and he would rather see it go to good use. So thank you ever so much, mate. I do appreciate it. And I'll show you the sort of thing. I mean, you know, the one that I've seen is, one, it's new. Two, it's similar, but I think it's a little bit different to this one. But at least this will be a bit more of a like-for-like comparison, and we can offer it up and see is it going to work and all that sort of stuff. So when it gets here, I'll show you that as well. And so we'll have the two exhaust systems that we can run when we stick it on the dyno. The one that I made, I've got everything I need in order to finish it up and get the run right and everything else. And then the one that the Dark Lord is sending me down. And if that one works, and you know, well, basically whichever one works the best on the dyno and isn't totally obnoxious, that's what we're going to be running with. But I want to try them both out just to see the difference. The exhaust that I put together, there is no science behind it. There is a baffle in there. It's not much of one. I don't really think it's going to do that much, but it looks sweet. So we're just going to try the two out and see what's what. But whatever is the best, that's what's going on the bike. So that's the plans that we've got short term. And that's what I'm getting on with. So, what's the time now? 20 to 12. I'm gonna nip off and get this video up, just so you get your update. Then I'm gonna carry on doing my accounts, and then I'm gonna go to work. So that's where I'm gonna leave it for this one, but thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you are staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters.